All right, there we have it. What is going on, my friends? It is good to see you. And we've got an American and a Canadian bridging the gap between the two countries. It was caused by Donald Trump, apparently. Guard the Leaf, what's up, buddy?
What's up? How you doing, man?
I am doing fantastic. It is a pleasure to have you here. I think we are broadcasting across both channels. I
Yeah, I
don't
think we did it
really.
right.
Do you think we got it?
I hope so. I mean,
Yeah.
this is the first time I'm doing a live stream, so I'm not really too sure, but I think we got both channels together. So
I am showing you live. I am showing you live. So what's up, everybody? We did it. This is our first time trying to do a joint stream across both of the channels, and I'm getting you can hear us both. Awesome. There we go. They can hear us both. They can hear us
and
both.
I can see some of my viewers in the comments as well. So I think we did it.
Awesome. Awesome. So they can hear us. We did it. We're both here. First time trying to set up a joint live stream, and I'll be damned. This old trucker, this old redneck from Colorado figured it out, my friends. How about that?
Yeah. All credit goes to Josh, and it's kind of funny. The tech guy had to get help from the trucker on how to get set up. So
Yeah, yep, absolutely. And we're getting a lot of comments. Let me pull Kenny over here. He kind of got a
you
little
got Kenny.
off center. Yep, we got Kenny representing Colorado here. Kenny's been through it. His shoes are all tore up. Look, Kenny's he ain't dead yet, but he's had a very, very rough life. So Guard the Leaf, man. Good to see you. We have obviously become good friends here on YouTube because you tracked me down somehow through watching one of my videos, and you had told me something, Guard the Leaf. You said you saw my video pop up on YouTube, and you saw my picture, and you said this just can be some other loudmouth redneck that I don't want to hear anything from. And then you listened.
Yeah, that's actually true, because I remember when I first started my channel, I was looking for videos that were talking about the wrong reason, which, we all know the 51st state is what pissed off a lot of Canadians, right? And I clicked on your video, and I thought it would be like another one of these videos who is blaming the exchange rate and everything else. And when I watched your video, I was like, holy shit, this guy actually understands. And yeah, that kind of threw me off. I'll be honest with you. And that's why I used your video in one of mine and decided to reach out to you and say, hey, thanks, man. I really appreciate it. So
yeah. Well, first, obviously, what got my attention as an American was the sheer stupidity of the fucking tariffs. We're just gonna put tariffs on everything out there. And of course, me being a trucker that saw Donald Trump's economic destruction his first time around, I knew what was coming. And then when it got to the 51st state thing, I don't think for a lot of Americans, obviously, that hit as hard as it did for Canadians, because you guys were rightfully pissed off about that, and for us, it was kind of like, what the hell's this lunatic talking about again? But I started, talking about, this is wrong. This is just wrong to say we're going to take over a country. So yeah, that's for anybody curious about how we met. The story of how we met is he reached out on Blue Sky, said, dude, let me use your video for something I'm working on. And I was actually pretty impressed by that, because most people don't ask.
Well, I mean, I wanted to ask her. I mean, especially with content creators, if somebody uses somebody else's work, they can get mad, they can throw a copyright strike on you, whatever. And you're doing commentary on somebody else's video, right? So I thought I should ask first and say, hey, saw your video and really appreciate you sticking up for Canada. Are you okay with me using it? And I think from there, that's how our friendship kind of grew.
Yeah, exactly. And I wasn't even the story of how I became friends with so many Canadians. I love you guys so much. I was just trying to point out this is fucking wrong. And I didn't actually believe I was going to build a Canadian audience off of that. I had no idea that was going to happen, but I'm kind of at a point in life where you speak up about what's right and wrong, and some guy talking about they're gonna just take over your country and turn you into the 51st state is obviously wrong. But what do you think, since we're on the topic, what do you think of, I guess you guys refer to them as Maple MAGA, the guys that are in favor of this bullshit? Like, I mean, what must go through your head when you hear the kind of nonsense that you must hear and going on in Canada?
Well, I mean, I know I grew up with some friends, and I don't know what happened during the COVID times, but they pretty much went towards the Maple Mega side. And for me, I've lost contact with them, and I just don't want that in my life, right? And it's
Mm.
unfortunate that Canada has to go through that as well, and obviously with what's going on with Alberta right now. Um, I believe there was a vote. I don't know too much about this. Maybe people from Alberta would know a little bit better, but I believe there was a vote to have it discussed in terms
Mhm.
of Alberta becoming independent, and it saddens me, right? Because one thing I have kind of went down that rabbit hole, and this actually happened when Twitter, or X now, um, revealed where a lot of these so-called MAGA accounts are actually from, right? And you would think like a lot of these high-profile U.S. MAGA, you know, pro-Trump accounts, you thought they were from the US, but they're actually from like Middle East or
Mm.
Bangladesh or Sri Lanka or whatever else, right? So that really got me thinking is like, okay, when it comes to Canada, is that happening within Canada as well? Are there people who are voicing themselves as Maple MAGA, but they could be from the US or they could be from the Middle East or, some other South Asian country or something like that, right? So it's from a Canadian point of view. I mean, it sucks, and I think right now within Canada, I've said this on my channel quite a few times, is that I haven't seen Canada this united against something, and the last time I saw that was like the 2010 Olympics when the Canadian hockey team won the gold medals. But
Mm.
when it really kind of started gaining traction this year, Canada was pretty united, and now we have this thing where the Maple Megas are trying to get louder, right? So for me, it's disappointing, and I don't want to see that for Canada.
Yeah, it's not only disappointing. Obviously, I watched it happen in the United States. We're ground zero for fucking MAGA, right? And
Yeah,
I want to caution the Canadian viewers. It started the same way here. It started as a small group of fucking loudmouths
yeah,
that just grew into this just this absolutely insane thing. So I always try to caution, the Canadian viewers, like you have to stay on top of this and give them hell
yeah,
every chance you get, because it will grow. Unfortunately, it will grow, and I have to wonder, where does that anger come from that so many people are ready to jump onto that MAGA bandwagon? And I don't know enough about Canada to answer that, but hell, in America, it's just racism. That's the answer. That's the
yeah.
answer to it.
Well, I mean, it's probably the same thing on our side of the border as well. So
Fair enough. Fair enough.
yeah, so
Yeah.
yeah. Wow, we got
So,
quite a few people in the stream on my side, and
yeah, awesome. Yeah, for your
I'm
first
looking at
stream, man.
multiple things. I'm like, this is my first time doing a live stream, so I don't know what to look at.
How you feeling? Are you a little overwhelmed or?
No, I mean it's good, and it's nice to have like a casual chat, and
Yeah.
obviously with my videos, I read from scripts. I think everybody knows that. I'm just not a free speaker, but I think this is good practice for me. So
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. It puts you on the spot. You got everyone here, and for me, we were talking about this a little bit before we went live. My videos are completely unscripted.
yeah,
I just hope for the fucking best. That's the way
yeah,
my videos work, and we just kind of hope for the best. And making mistakes on a live stream, or maybe even saying something you shouldn't have, it does happen. It
yeah.
does happen. So definitely been there.
So I want to ask a question. Like, what do you think is going to happen in 2026? Like, we got the World Cup coming up, and you have like but the potential social media screening and stuff like that. What do you think is going to happen for your country?
I don't really know. It's sort of a mixed bag. I mean, the obviously Donald Trump and the MAGA movement, they're clearly trying to take over and do whatever they want to do. But we are pushing back on it. We are fighting back. Um, the midterms could be good for us unless they rig them. I don't know. I don't really fucking know.
Yeah, that's going
The
to be
thing
interesting.
Yeah, the thing I'm gonna be paying attention to in the, beginning of the year, for me, for my career, my job, is the trucking industry. I imagine is going to be a shit show. when the new year starts, because I watched the whole thing. I meant to record a video today and I had so much shit to do that I didn't really have time to do it, and then we were doing this. But watching the what am I trying to say? The Christmas season in the trucking industry was fucking brutal. Just empty truck stops everywhere, and you shouldn't see that. So that's going to be probably what the first part of the year is going to be mostly dedicated to. And as far as the MAGA movement goes, it all hinges on the midterms at this point, and see what happens. You know.
Do you think it's going to be a fair midterm?
I don't know. I'm not sure how to answer that. It's hard to say. You know, in the mostly blue states, yeah, it still will be. There's a lot of gerrymandering going on with the red states, and there's of course Indiana, who told Donald Trump to go fuck himself when it came to trying to gerrymander Indiana. I don't know that we're gonna see. I know this is a little long-winded, but I don't know that we're gonna see like some Elon Musk hacking type of shit, but we're 100% going to see attempts to intimidate, attempts to gerrymander and shit like that, that they will get away with in those red states for sure. Absolutely. And this one here, I see this a lot. Thank you, Terry. Your fearless leader will start a war to stay in power. It's possible. I mean, I'm shocked right now that we're not in World War III because of the Epstein files at this point. So,
yes. I mean, speaking of Epstein files, I mean, I saw a few other content creators and basically what they released. The whole page is black. I mean, I don't understand how they can get away with this.
Yeah, it's fucking bizarre. I don't think that, in my opinion, Pam Bondi won't get away with it. Kash Patel won't get away with it. What's his name? Bongino? Is it Dan Bongino? I think. I'm not really sure. He's already resigning from the FBI. But I don't think that those people, Pam Bondi, Kash Patel, people like that, will get away with it. I think they will have their day in court. I think they will face charges. But Donald Trump will get away with it. He's going to throw everybody under the fucking bus, and one way or another, he's walking away scot-free from the whole thing. Promise.
Yeah, that's my gut feeling as well. He'll just throw everyone else under the bus.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think Pam Bondi and Kash Patel are probably going to be the first two.
100%. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I'm going to enjoy watching that. Pam Bondi, I cannot wait to watch that trial. I can't fucking wait. But that's what people need to fucking learn. You don't go to bat for Donald Trump. You got me over here yelling now. I'm sorry. But like, you don't go to bat for fucking Donald Trump, because he will throw your ass under the bus all the fucking time. Every time is what I meant to say. Every time. Yeah.
All right. We have any questions in the comments right now?
We might. Let's go see if we can find us a question here. Let me see if we got any. Let me get to these real quick, because some of you guys are crazy. These super chats and channel memberships were coming in before we even went live, and the one true review with the 666 good day freedom defenders. Thank you, one true review. I appreciate that. And we've got Sylvia with the 699. These are both Canadian dollars, by the way. So thank you guys. Let me make sure
Canada's representing.
Canada's representing. You guys do not fuck around. I see Canadian Beaver in the comments. I got myself in trouble with my Canadian Beaver jokes on the video, so I should keep that shit to myself.
I noticed you're not making fun of Nickelback anymore.
No, I'm done fucking with Nickelback, because Tom McDonald is a real fucking problem. And if I'm gonna go after any Canadian musician in air quotes, it's gonna have to be Tom McDonald, because that dude is a fucking loser, and that's just the way that goes. Also, let's see, Jesse saw that member for 8 months. Thank you, Jesse. And Glenn with $5 says, love you both, keep up the great work. So I wanted to make sure I got those, and I don't know if you're seeing any on your side come through, but you're definitely welcome to say your thanks if you need to.
None so far. I think I'm looking at it properly. I'm not sure how to do this, but
yeah, you know what? I thought of it right before the stream, though. I was kind of mad, because I thought of something that would be kind of funny. I was gonna go get a picture framed of Chad or whatever from Nickelback holding up the photograph, and I was gonna just frame it and put it on the wall and just see if anybody noticed.
I can do that for you.
Yeah.
I think I put it in my videos a few times.
You did, yeah. I've had Nickelback stuck in my fucking head for like the last year, all off of one shitty joke on the channel, you know. But yeah, I mean the Nickelback thing obviously goes back to the meme, you know, that
Yeah.
Nickelback turned into basically a meme overnight. It was like some comedian on a radio show made a Nickelback joke, and
Mhm.
then everybody went, "Fuck yeah, we're gonna jump all over Nickelback's ass," you know. So, uh,
Yeah,
but yeah, so I'm not going hard on them because Tom McDonald gets on my fucking nerves. Is the answer to that.
that's good. That's good.
And thank you, Yo Spotter,
Um,
$5.
yeah,
Did you see the
thank you all,
60-minute
y'all
piece?
spotter.
Yeah,
He's
but did you
he's,
did you see the 60-minute piece on? I think it was on CCOT. I did not see it.
I did watch it. It's
You did
actually
watch it.
pretty, it's revealing in terms of how the prison was. It's inhumane on
Mhm.
how they were treated, right? I mean, even if you are a criminal, if you ask me, in my opinion, the torture that they went through is actually really bad. So I can see why the Trump administration didn't want to have that aired. But I don't know how that happened. I mean, from what I read, Canada released it first, or the Canada 60 Minutes published it first. Someone recorded it, and then they stopped it in the US, I think, right?
It was like, as far as I understand it, minutes before it was supposed to go live, and they had shut it down here in the United States. Yeah,
Right.
but Canada went ahead and aired it still, which is had to piss Donald off. Had to
Oh, for
do that.
sure.
But you know, on that topic of like the inhumane prisons, you know, obviously that's more of a concentration camp, you know. But that lady here in Colorado, I don't know how many Colorado folks are in the chat tonight, but Tina Peters, that is our resident lunatic here, who claimed that the 2020 election was stolen, did all kinds of shit, allowing unauthorized access to the voting machines, and her ass is in prison now, where she
Mhm.
belongs. And her plea in court, like, not her plea, that's more of a legal term, I think, but she was saying in court that she can't possibly go to prison because she requires a magnetic mattress, and the prison can't provide her a magnetic mattress, so it's inhumane. And it's funny to me that all of a sudden our prison system is inhumane when it's an entitled white woman that has to go to prison instead.
Right.
You know, the one that's happy to see, you know, a black person or a Hispanic person in prison. It's not inhumane then, but as soon as her entitled ass has to go, um,
Yeah, and it's, I mean, when I watched the 60-minute clip, I mean, I didn't see one white person in there, right? So they're all
mhm.
profiled and being tortured, right? So I mean, it's definitely something I don't want any human to go into,
Yeah,
whether they're my friend or enemy. It's just inhumane. So,
yeah,
um,
exactly. Yeah.
yeah, we have a comment here, off
Congrats.
topic. Josh, is that a Witcher figure behind you?
It is, yeah. Geralt of Rivia. I'm always excited to show off my nerd shit. Always excited. So yeah, yeah. Geralt of Rivia here. This is the Bear School gear, which was my favorite armor in the game. Yeah,
Nice.
absolutely. It sure is. And we got $5 from Grant Sloan. He says, a bit late, but why is Santa so grumpy? Because he only comes once a year, which is one more time than Ben Shapiro's wife, by the way. Uh, one more time than her.
Yeah.
So, God, I got quite a few super chats coming in. Glenn says Glenn loves us both. How about that? How about that? Glenn
Thanks,
loves us
Glenn.
both. You know, absolutely, absolutely. This ain't going so bad. I thought it was going to be a lot more awkward than this, but we're doing
Yeah.
okay. Give yourself a pat
Oh,
on the back, Gardner Leaf. We're doing good here.
yeah, I
Um,
mean, this is fun. It's different from my usual videos that I do, and even from the interviews that I do. So
Yeah, yeah,
it's fun.
absolutely. Certainly, if you see any questions on your side that you want to talk about, cut me off. But
For
this one
sure.
here, Nerdness says the U.S. needs to split up like the USSR. We might be headed that way too. That's a possibility. With the red states constantly on the attack against the blue states, I think the blue states are starting to feel a lot like Canada. Like, okay, you don't need anything from us then? Is that what you're saying? You know?
That's
And I think Go for it. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, that's I was gonna say that that's true because I mean some of the way the red states are treating the blue states, it's almost like correct me if I'm wrong, but the blue states do bring in more financial revenue versus the red states, right? So
Yeah,
if
there's
they
nothing
separate,
to
yeah, so if they separate, it's going to be pretty devastating for the United States. So
Well, yeah, and that's the thing that like is always so infuriating because there are states that need they run a deficit basically is the
yeah,
easiest way to put it. Where the blue states are paying in and covering that deficit that a lot of the red states have. And you know what? We do it without bitching. We just say that's
yeah,
the way it is. That's the United States will do it. But then and I don't mean to like go off on any of my viewers that may be stuck in a red state. That's not what I mean by this, but the vast majority of these red state MAGA dorks that come out and just go full on assault against like California. Oh, they fucking hate California, right? But
yeah,
you don't say a word when California is making sure that your health care is covered, your Medicare or Medicaid, or your SNAP benefits, or you've
yeah,
got the infrastructure.
hmm,
You don't say a fucking word about that. But I don't know. I am at a loss with that sometimes because it's like a bunch of made up shit. Guard the leaf. There was a guy that lived in Colorado. I didn't know him, all right, but I watched him on the news where he said that he picked up one day and just moved his family to Oklahoma. He said, "I just moved to Oklahoma." He was on some news broadcast, and they said, "Well,
yeah,
why'd you do that?" And he said, "Because in Colorado, in the schools, they make children use litter boxes in the classroom." Which was a right wing propaganda talking point because all the kids are transgender and all the kids identify as cats. It was bizarre. It was fucking strange. And
yeah,
so this dumb motherfucker, this dumb son of a bitch, instead of going to his kid's school to verify the existence of litter boxes in the classroom, just packed up his whole family and fucking moved. But the good news is Colorado got smarter from it. Like our collective IQ raised the minute that motherfucker left the state, But that's the
yeah,
kind of shit you hear, man, from these red states. Like just like pissed off and make shit up about us. Like if you're
yeah,
mad at us, at least be honest about why you're mad. Like we could at least start to have a conversation from there, you know.
yeah.
But
And
when you're
one
making
of the,
shit,
I mean, it's I don't think it's just the red states. I mean, I think in the beginning when I started my channel, I was in full support for the blue states, but then obviously when you really look at each one of those states, it's some blue states are barely blue, right? And they
mhm,
might
mhm.
have won. They might be. Sorry, do you guys hear the cat? Do I have to
We
remove him?
do,
Is like,
we do hear the cat.
hey, shh.
We all expected
She's
it.
in the room. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, she's a fixture on my channel. But anyways, what I was trying to say is like I realized that hey, blue states they might be blue on paper, but they still have enough MAGA supporters, and I think the one state that also kind of shows that is Maine, right? And
Mhm.
they had that idiot senator who gave us step by step instructions on how to join the United States, and that fucking pissed me off. And I, I actually was hoping to jump on an interview with the MLA in BC that received that, but he didn't get back to me. But it's just more the audacity of somebody just saying, "Okay, well, this is what you need to do. Here's what you get. Here's what you need to remove from yourself in terms of your laws in Canada," and it just mind boggles me to be honest. And it just made me realize, okay, this guy's a state senator.
Mhm.
There's probably going to be a lot of people seeing this as, oh, well, it's coming from the government, so it's going to happen, or this is what we need to believe, right? So it's just
Mhm.
spreading the bullshit, um, within your city or within your country, right? So it sucks. I
Yeah.
mean, it sucks to have a friend kind of do this to you, right? So
Well, yes, I'm sure it does. To your first point, yeah, you're actually 100% right. A blue state isn't all blue. I'm in Colorado. I think we're split pretty well down the middle. I think right now we got three districts that are red, but I may be off on that just a little bit. We've
mhm.
got Lauren Boebert and we've got Gabe Evans and I think it's Jeff Hurd. I'm not really sure, but yes, it's more divided by like cities and country.
Yeah.
Like that's pretty well where you see more of the dividing line. So like Illinois, you know, has Chicago that is blue as fuck, but you get down to southern Illinois, you might hear some banjo playing, you know, you just never really know. So
Yeah, and that's one thing I noticed in New York as well. I mean, New York is a blue state, but when you go to the border towns, they're pretty much all red, right?
Mhm.
All the towns along the border actually are red counties that voted for Trump. So
Yeah, 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 and that's God, that's it's such a frustrating topic because that's something we have to address. How do we like overcome the Fox News propaganda machine? I keep hitting my mic. I'm sorry if you can hear
you're good.
that.
You're good.
But how do you overcome that Fox News propaganda machine that has basically terrorized rural America? I'm from the country. I'm from
Mhm,
rural America, middle of nowhere, Colorado. You know,
mhm.
and to watch the destruction that one news outlet, media outlet has done to rural America is just disappointing. But I do hold out hope that now watching like the it sucks to say, but like the farms going bankrupt, like the meat packing plant in Nebraska that's basically shutting down an entire town by the time it closes.
Yeah,
Hopefully, these more red districts will start to fucking pay attention and understand what's going on.
yeah.
Um, let's
We should
see.
get to the super chats. We got a lot coming in. I want to thank
Yeah, yeah.
everybody. Thank you, everyone.
Yes, thank you very much. Are you getting any on your end? I don't know if they're. Oh, they do highlight. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I think
They
they're
have them.
highlighted in the main chat. So
Well, let me start at the top then, and I'll try to point out who's coming from your audience and who isn't.
yeah,
We got Dale, member for 5 months over on your channel. Love being a member of Guard the Leaf. So there's Dale for you.
thank you, Dale.
And look at this. Robert just gifted 5 memberships over on Guard the Leaf. How about that? How about that?
Thank you, Robert. What is this gift membership thing? I don't even know.
So yeah, you have the channel memberships, and people can
Yeah.
on the bottom of your stream, there's a button to gift a certain amount of memberships. And Robert, he doesn't have control of who they go to; it just randomly hands them out. So now 5 people just got a membership to your channel thanks to Robert.
Oh,
So.
that's awesome. Nice.
And by the way, 1,031 people watching us right now. That's absolutely insane. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
And we've got Yule Spotter. Looks like he's coming from your side. He's definitely a viewer I recognize from here too. So good to see you. Hello, Mr. GTF, Guard the Leaf, and Josh. Did you? Oh yeah, we did talk about that. But thank you nonetheless for that super chat. And we did we talked about Santa coming more times than Ben Shapiro's wife. So that's always a good time. And Jesse with the $2. Awesome. Thank you, Jesse. And we got Tina with $4.99. Trump is threatening Venezuela and Greenland to distract from his thieving and involvement with Epstein. Yes, I have.
I 100% agree with that.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't followed up on that. I've been at home. When I'm home, I kind of take a little time off from the news. I need the break as much as everyone else does too.
Well, he's targeting Greenland again. I mean, he sent in a special envoy to, I don't know, do whatever he needs to do, but it's just causing more shit. So
always with this fucking guy. And yes, Tino's 100% right because of the Epstein files. That's all everything comes back to. And Mr. Sunshine, thank you. I always have to look up what DKK is. I think it's the what is DKK? Thank you.
Danish Krones.
Danish Krone, thank you, Mr. Sunshine, for the 1,000. That's huge. Thank you. Mr. Sunshine actually drops those on my videos quite a bit too. So don't act like I haven't seen you, Mr. Sunshine. I appreciate that. But however, I'm going to have to push back a little bit. I'm going to keep vaping, but I appreciate you nonetheless. I don't know if you got any vices, Guard the Leaf, any addictions, and if you do, don't share them with us. Keep that to yourself. But I am a fucking lunatic without nicotine. I've been vaping. Well, not vaping, but I started smoking when I was maybe 13 years old, and ever since then I have had an extreme nicotine addiction, and I've tried to quit many times, and it's just not for me. So
yeah.
So I don't know what you get yourself up to, but I definitely, that's my vice these days. We've got Rami Rosen with the $10. Not used to seeing you outside your truck and your hair. I've been getting a lot. What do you guys think? I've been getting a lot of advice on how to tame the beast. It's a little rough tonight, but we're working on it. We're working on it. So
it's a good look. You got the Dave Grohl look going on
Dave,
right now. So
Dave Grohl's a good one.
yeah.
I that's a pretty good one. I'll take that. But yeah, I decide. Well, what I did, since we're going to talk about my hair, give me any chance to talk about myself. I'm just kidding. But I had put up a picture on the community tab because I was kind of stuck in the wind all day, and a lot of my viewers were like asking me after that video, like, are you okay? Did the truck tip over? Are you all right? And I was sitting in my truck. I had the hat off. I had just finished my day, and I snapped a picture like, hey, I survived the fucking day. For everyone that's asking, thank you. I appreciate it. And I got a lot of positive responses to the long hair I've been hiding under the hat. And so I decided, you know what? It's time to free the beast. We'll let it out. So
yeah, it's a good look. It's a good look.
Yeah, we'll take it. But I'll be back in the truck, Rami, on Monday morning. We'll got to get back to it. So split this. Gonna split this. Don't know. Oh, here's okay. He split it, so he sent 10 to your channel also. How about that?
Thank you.
How about that?
Thank you.
So yeah, appreciate it. Bingo says Canada rocks. Keep on trucking, Josh. I am gonna come visit Canada one day. One day I'm gonna do it. So I believe you that Canada rocks, though. I 100% agree. Do you agree with that statement, Garth the Leaf?
I do. Yeah.
You do?
I mean, Canada. I think every country has their issues, but I mean, one of the things I have to look at, and especially being overseas now, is Canada has a good reputation. So, you know, for me, I consider myself well traveled, mainly for work. But what I think I have to say this is that for those that are in Canada who don't get to travel very much or even leave the country very much, you have to realize that Canadians have a good reputation overseas. And whenever I travel, I always get asked, "Oh, are you American?" And the first thing I say is, "No, I'm Canadian." And you know, no offense, Josh, but when they hear that, they're like, "Oh, you know," the whole attitude and mindset changes, right? And
Right.
you know, it's funny because at one time, I'll tell a story. I was actually in Thailand with my wife and in Bangkok. We were just there for vacation, and the waiter actually asked, "Oh, are you American?" And he kind of said it to me in a way where it was a bit standoffish, right? And I guess, you know, my accent that you hear right now can be mistaken for an American, right? And I said, no, I'm not American. I'm from Canada, right? And he said, you're from Canada, right? And I actually pulled out my driver's license and I showed him, yeah, I'm from British Columbia. And his whole demeanor and everything completely changed after that, right? And he, you know, he's asked, "Well, how are you liking Thailand? You should go here, you should go there, or go visit this place," right? But it just made me realize, like, if I actually, if I said I was American, I probably would have been treated differently. And I don't mean to offend anyone in the audience, right? But that's just how it is. And you know, when you travel around the world and you're Canadian, you are actually seen in a positive way. So I just wanted to say that to my Canadian viewers and even your Canadian viewers as well. So.
Yeah. No, I could actually see that. You know, I have never been to another country. I've almost accidentally been to another country, but I've never been to another country. But I've heard that we don't have the greatest reputation out there. I've definitely heard that. There's a term for it. Is it like American exceptionalism or something to that effect?
American exceptionalism, yeah.
We're just a bunch of arrogant pricks. You know, that's what I've heard. And I don't think you'll offend anyone in my audience for that. Like, we're kind of well aware of the how we're perceived by the world, I think. Yeah. And you know, that's just kind of how that goes. Live and Right says, "Love this, guys." Yeah, thank you. Mermaid Gray, you got a new member on your channel. Ship Mermaid Gray, or your channel. I don't know if I said that right, but anyways, Mermaid Gray membership.
Is that on my channel?
Yeah, I think so. Okay. It's got the link, so I think that's how I differentiate between what channel. Yeah. And Sarita over on my channel. Over here, this is your channel, I believe. I hope I'm getting this right, guys. I hope I'm calling out the right channels that it's going to.
Yeah, yeah, I see that one. Thank you, Francois. Okay. Really appreciate it.
Oh yeah.
I just saw a comment in because like the comments are going crazy because we've got both of our chats going at once, and it was actually someone from my channel just said,
"Sure,
only highlight people who are paying money, logging off." That's from Miranda Dunsmore. I want to. We're not okay. I'm not purposely ignoring people in the chat. It's just that there's so much going on right now, and I have to remember we got both live chats going at once right now, and we don't mean to say that we're only responding to those that are providing super chats. Don't want it to seem like that, but um, I'm sorry, Miranda. That's not what it is. So
Yeah, as a matter of fact, we were going through some of the other comments earlier, and you said, "Hey, maybe we should check on some of those super chats." So we'll bounce back over there in just a second. But obviously, you guys are paying to highlight your. I don't know. I don't want to say that the wrong way, but no, that's not what we're doing. We'll bounce back over there. We're kind of bouncing between.
Yeah, we'll
the
definitely
two.
bounce back. So.
But Vladdy, and I'm watching too the normal chat over on the other screen also. So I see you guys. I see you out there. So sorry you feel that way. But $5 from Vladdy. Let's get here's J-Man over on your channel. U.S. citizen here. Just want to show my solidarity. I'm a little embarrassed to be American now, thanks to the orange smegma in office. Wishing you the best. Yeah, what do you guys think of that? Or I guess not. What do you guys think of that? Guard the leaf. When you do see Americans like actually pushing back and say, no, I'm with Canada on this. This is bullshit. I mean, it's probably an obvious answer, but it's got to feel good, right?
No, it definitely feels good, and it also keeps me grounded too, right? Because it's so easy for me to just say "fuck the USA," right? And you guys are on your own, but when I see comments like J-Man's, or I see comments on my channel saying, I'm American, or I'm a U.S. citizen, and I support Canada, or I'm coming to your country and boycotting my own, it regrounds me, right? Because I could be a complete hater. I could say, you know what, fuck you, USA. I don't want anything to do with you. But I also do know that there are supporters in your country that are pushing back, and my viewers, just like J-Man, as well as thousands of others, and even my friends and family who live there. I have a lot of friends in Hawaii, California, and Nevada. Excuse me. And I talked to them on WhatsApp, and they're like, we're really sorry. We totally understand why you're not going to visit us, and we even say they even say don't visit us until we get our shit solved, right? So it grounds me, and it also really tells me that there are a lot of U.S. citizens that are still supporting Canada and trying to push back, but it's going to be a long ways to go. So that's all I have to say. So
a long ways, yeah, we've got a long ways, and I do get that sometimes too. For the most part, Canadians that watch me are extremely supportive. Always happy, and I don't mean this in a negative way. Always happy to point out what I don't understand and explain shit to me, because your guys' government is much different from ours. So there are things that I don't get, but every once in a while I do get that comment from a Canadian that says, fuck you. You can go fuck yourself. We don't want nothing to do with you. I had a weird one.
Yeah.
I had a weird one last week though, because we were we were discussing the Canadian beaver like we were doing on my channel, the shit we get into sometimes. And I had referenced I was under the impression that it was a dessert in Canada called a beaver tail. So I had referenced it as a dessert. I found out you can get those savory also from literally 1,000 comments telling me that. So, but I did not know that. And I had one guy from Canada. He said, this is typical stupid American bullshit. You didn't even bother to research beaver tails before you spoke on it. And I said, you know what? I guess I don't know if I apologize, but you're right. I did not do a deep dive on beaver tails before I talked about it. You got me.
Have you ever tried poutine before?
No. It was kind of becoming sort of, if I remember correctly, sort of a trendy thing around Colorado there for a while, if I remember right. And some people had told me to try it, but no, I did not. I did not try it. But it sounds delicious. Isn't it just like French fries and gravy or something?
French fries, gravy, and cheese. You definitely got to try it.
You can't go wrong.
I'm trying to find a poutine here in Malaysia. And it's so hard to find, and I'm trying. It's going to be virtually impossible for me to find here, but it's just one of those home craving things that I miss. So,
will you? I guess you could probably make that yourself, pretty easy, right?
Yeah, I could. Yeah, maybe I'll have to do that. So, can you guys hold for a minute? I need to move the cat. It's distracting for me. Just one. I'll be back.
Yeah, absolutely. Let me look at some of these. Mr. Pilks, $5. What I don't understand, Josh, is surely to hell there's got to be an adult in the room that can stop the madness. Well, all the adults are out of the room. They're gone. I don't know how else to explain that. We had adults in the room in Donald Trump's first administration, and he made sure that they weren't here to stand in his way this time. I mean, what do we got? We got Stephen Miller. We've got Marco Rubio, Pam Bondi. I mean, these are all Trump loyalists. So no, there's not an adult in the room. And then even when you get to the House and the Senate on the Republican side, there's very few adults in the room. Very, very, very few. Very few.
I'm back.
You're back. You made it back.
Yeah,
Dorito
I had to
with the
remove.
fried
I had to
animals.
remove the co-host. It was
Yeah,
a little distracting on my side. So
yeah, getting fired up off over there. I got the cats some these little stuffed animals earlier, and you shove catnip in them, and those fuckers, oh man, they're I don't know if they're stoned out of their minds or what's going on with them, but they're just really relaxed right now. Really
maybe I
relaxed.
should try that with my cat.
Yeah,
Again,
yeah, I would
give
do
her
that.
some catnip before I start doing my videos and see.
Yeah, absolutely. Give them something to do. Give them something to
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
I saw. Let's see. You see anything in the comments you wanted to address? I'm kind of still over here on the super chat side, but if you
No,
see
just
something,
catching up. A lot of people talking about poutine. I should probably make my own poutine.
oh, it's not regular gravy. It's a special kind of
Yeah.
gravy. Huh.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm sure you can still make it. It's like there must be a way. I don't know
Yeah.
about you, but like I fucking love cooking. Like I know that that's maybe an odd statement, but it's one of my favorite things. I smoked a brisket yesterday, just slow
Nice.
cooked that motherfucker all day. And a friend brought me some crab yesterday as like I guess like a Christmas gift, and so I turned it into a whole seafood boil. We had the crab and the shrimp and the potatoes and the sausage. You know the Louisiana, whatever it's called, seafood boil, and that was pretty good too. That was pretty good.
I'm not much of I don't really cook myself. I mean, my wife usually does the cooking, and it's kind of funny because my wife is like, your dad cooks so much, he makes all this great food. Why can't you do it as well, right? So, and one
Yeah.
thing too, I want to give a shout out to my dad because I know he's actually listening to us right now. So
Oh, nice, awesome,
back in Canada. So my dad's in the audience.
awesome. That's cool.
Yeah.
My mom might be out there. I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure. If she types something, I'd probably miss it because there's a lot of people here. So yeah, that's cool, man. When you can get that support from your family. How's that work out? You started doing the channel. Did your family know you were going into it, or did you spring it on them after you kind of grew the channel, or how'd that go?
I didn't really tell anybody when I started doing my first few videos, and it wasn't until I hit about maybe 3,000 subscribers that I told my parents and my close friends around me that I have a channel. I mean, there is probably a handful of people, within my close circle that know I have this channel, but no, they've been supportive, and they've been my dad's actually been helping to send me articles and things like that too. So
Yeah, awesome.
yeah, I mean it's great, and I think I'm still shocked where we are with our channels right now. I mean, I remember messaging you. I think I was probably only at about like 8,000 subscribers or something, and I think you were at 16 or something. And we're at the end of the year, and we're both at like 111,000. It just speaks about how for me, at least for me on my channel, I'm still dumbfounded. I wake up every morning and I look at my channel. I'm like, how the hell do I have like all of these people following me? And I guess it's really just that our messages are aligned with people in our countries, right? And at least for Canada, I don't have a political background. I'm not like I'm just a regular Canadian, and I'm just kind of voicing out and speaking out what I'm calling it out basically, right? So that's all I'm really doing. But I appreciate everyone supporting both of our channels. So
Yeah, it is wild to think about. I've been doing YouTube on different channels for roughly 13 years, I think, a little longer than I've been a truck driver, and I've had some successes, but this This one was this one's special, you know. This one's
Yeah.
different. Honestly, I am shocked by it too, because like you, I don't have a political background at all, and I have to learn as I go, and I have to
Yeah.
depend on like my audience to like sometimes point out shit I don't understand. I remember when I was just starting out, I was doing a live stream. I was still under like 10,000 subscribers, and we were talking about senators. And don't y'all laugh at me in the comments when I tell you this story, but in hindsight, it's funny, but it was embarrassing because I was live at the time. But we were talking about senators, and I was like, man, I don't even know what senator is my senator, because I don't know which district I live in for the Senate in Colorado, only to find out in a live stream that there ain't no goddamn districts for senators. They're just two state senators. That's the way it works. That's how uneducated I was on politics. But what I knew was that fascism was bad, and I should say something, you know. So
Yeah. Yeah.
I learn a lot from reading my own comment section, you know,
Yep.
and that's the most important part. And I don't know if you get this, Guard the Leaf, but I get a lot of people. I'll give a kind of another funny example. I did a video yesterday on Nicki Minaj and her shift towards MAGA. I
Yeah, I
don't
saw
know
that.
anything. I don't know dick about her, and I very rarely jump into this like pop culture type of stuff. But because like there was an immediate response, negative response to her, I decided to cover it, and I was covering only what happened at that Turning Point event and what followed after.
Yeah.
And I had a lot of people educate me on Nicki Minaj's background. I guess I don't want to say this in any kind of slanderous way, but apparently she is affiliated with sex offenders, which leads a lot of people to believe that she is angling for pardons, and that's why
Mhm.
she's doing it. And I
Yeah.
had someone tell me, Guard the Leaf, no shit. They said, you don't know the entire history of Nicki Minaj, and you should keep your fucking mouth shut until you know what you're talking about. And I'm like, is that the world we live in now? Where if I don't know
Yeah.
the entire history of this person, I have to keep my mouth shut? Then what's left? I mean, what do we talk about? You
Yeah.
know? Um,
Exactly. I mean,
but
we're living in a society now where everything is gonna, trying to be swept under the rug. But I also feel too that with the internet, there's so much research that people can find on their own, right?
mhm,
I mean, that's kind of like what we're doing right now. It's with our channels. We're just kind of calling out what we're seeing, right?
right. Absolutely.
So
Absolutely. Yeah, and
yeah,
for me, it's a lot of I shoot my videos. I'm not that professional. Come on now. I record my videos on my half-hour break every day. I sit there in the
yeah,
morning, kind of catch up on what the news is, and then sort of sit there in silence for an hour or two and kind of gather my thoughts on it, and then spit out the video and hope for the fucking best, right? And
yeah,
I know that a lot of my viewers understand that it's just a conversation. I'm not here to talk down on you and tell you that I know more than you, because I probably don't. But for the few viewers that don't understand that I'm just here to have the conversation and where we can all get better for it, boy, they go off the fucking rails sometimes. They lose their shit, you know?
yeah, yeah. So you know what mind boggles me as well is that we're not even a year into Trump's first year presidency, right? And we still got like I think we still got like fucking three and a half, just over 3 years of this bullshit, right? I
Mm,
mean,
give or take.
what's
Yeah.
your prediction for 2026? I mean, obviously you're in the trucking industry, that might be
Mhm.
at risk as well. Tourism always is also going to be at risk, but like, what do you see? Like, do you actually see the U.S. continuing to fall, or are we close to the bottom when it comes to shit hitting the fan?
I have to lean more towards we are finding the bottom. And the
Yeah,
reason I say that, I know I covered the trucking part earlier, but
yeah,
the reason I say that is because there are the resignations coming out on the MAGA side, Marjorie Taylor Greene being a huge example. I don't remember off the top of my head what the Republican majority is in the House right now. If anybody knows it, feel free to throw it in the comments. But they have a very slim majority.
right,
And it's only, I think we're only like a couple resignations away from Mike Johnson losing the Speaker of the House, and the Democrats being in charge of at least that branch, which is a huge step. So that's one part. That's one part of it. I believe that if you go off of the special elections, then the Republicans are completely fucked when the midterms come around. Like we talked about earlier, I believe they will try some shady shit. I believe they will try intimidation. I believe they will continue to try gerrymandering, shit like that. It's possible that Donald Trump starts a war. It's 100% possible. And I hate saying that. You just have to, that's the reality. But the MAGA movement, the Republican Party, is rapidly losing power.
Mhm.
If we can keep doing what we're doing, if we can win in the midterms, we effectively end Donald Trump's presidency. That's it for that, but that's not it for the MAGA movement. That's not it for fascism in the United States. It's a lifelong fight at this point for generations
Yeah.
to come.
Yeah. And I get a lot of comments. I don't know if you get it in yours too, right? But some people are saying that after Trump is gone, everything will go back to normal. And
Mm-mm. No.
it's tough for me to agree with that because in my opinion, I feel that Trump is just one person, and he's the one speaking on behalf of everyone who voted for him. And you get rid of Trump, there's still the rest of the people that voted for him that are still in the United States. So, and who knows? I mean, if JD Vance runs for election and he gets in, it's going to be just as bad. So, I
Mhm.
personally don't see this, or at least if Trump leaves, when's he supposed to leave? 2029 or something like that.
Some bullshit like that. Yeah.
Somewhere around there. Whenever he leaves after that, I feel that things are not just going to magically go back to the way it was before. So
No, it's not going to. You're 100% right about that. The MAGA movement is losing power, but it is alive and well, if that
yeah,
makes sense. I was listening to David Pakman a little bit earlier. I don't listen to him a whole lot anymore these days. I'm kind of more with like Kyle Kalinske. Does anyone else love Kyle Kalinske? Do you know him?
yeah, I watch him. I also
I
watch Keith Edwards as well. So
Yeah, those are kind of more the guys that I tend to listen to these days. But
mhm.
David Pakman was talking about a whole plan for like the next 30 fucking years of MAGA. Basically, I don't know if it went out that far, but it was supposed to be JD Vance, according to David Pakman, was supposed to be JD Vance with uh, was it Charlie Kirk as vice president, I believe, and then it was supposed to be Trump Jr. or something like that. And they've got a plan. They got a
Mhm.
plan to keep this going for the foreseeable future. And it's
Yeah,
just no, nothing's ever going to be the same. That's just where we're at. There's at least somewhat of a fascist takeover in America, and we have to find a way to pull through that. And I think for at least for the rest of my life, we will be fighting off the MAGA dorks for as long as until time ends, until we're dead.
yeah, it's unfortunate, and I think for me, in my opinion, looking from the outside in, it kind of really started in 2016. That's
Mm.
when I found that it was openly okay to be racist, and it was fine to just kind of I don't know what the word is, but it really started for me. I really started noticing in 2016. It's just the right just got more vocal, they got more racist, and they got more entitled, and it's just stuff that you
Yeah,
really shouldn't hear.
it's hard to pinpoint it. In the George W. Bush and the George Bush years, obviously there was a lot of hateful rhetoric towards the Middle East. Now, I don't know enough about the Middle East to even formulate an opinion on that. Who's the
Mhm.
good guy? Who's the bad guy? I suck at like these foreign affairs. I don't really fucking know. But the real, I guess, match in America was the election of Barack Obama. This is
Yeah,
our response to Barack Obama getting elected. This is it.
yeah,
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I've had it too. If you guys wonder why I keep turning my head, it's so I can watch your comments as they come in. I've had it podcast is absolutely brilliant too. Have you watched them?
Sorry, who?
I've had it.
I've seen a few of theirs.
Yeah,
I
fantastic.
haven't really lately, but yeah, I should
Yeah,
really probably check
they're
in with them.
two ladies out of Oklahoma talking like they do. You love them for it. absolutely
Yeah.
love them for it. So yeah, that's a really good one too. I'm sorry I got a little sidetracked by that, but
Okay.
no, the answer is not only for Americans, but honestly for Canadians now too. You will forever, for the rest of your life, have to at least hear an American every once in a while say that Canada has taken advantage of us and Canada has done all these things to, harm America for the rest of your life. You will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate. I mean, I do want to go back to the US one day, but my values just at the current moment, unless things significantly change, it's probably not going to happen. So
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, let's see what we got. There are so many super chats coming in tonight,
Yeah, I can't.
guys.
I can't. I honestly
Yeah,
can't.
we, we can't
I'm
even
trying
keep
to figure out. I mean, this is my first live stream. I'm trying to figure out what to look at. There's so much. I mean, there's the comments, and then there's the super chat coming in. Then trying to focus on you, and then all these. I don't know what to do.
it's a lot more going on than I think a lot of people realize. Like
Yeah,
had
it's
seen
fun though.
I had
Yeah,
seen somebody comment, not grease conditioner. That's a comment I saw. I guess somebody must have been saying negative things about my gorgeous flowing locks over here, and somebody put them in their place about it's not grease, god damn it, it's conditioner. I'm trying to tame the beast over here
Tame the
because
beast.
yeah, we've been working on a whole routine to try to get this under control and take care of it in the
Yeah.
truck also when I'm out there because it's been a fucking nightmare for me. It really has been. But we don't have to talk about all that. I just wanted to say thank you to that person that pointed that out and came to my defense in the comment section. So, yeah.
There was someone from your channel just said, "Good Lord, I was subscribed to the Enemy from Within, but just discovered I was no longer YouTube for you." That's actually something that a lot of people on my side are also actually noticing too. Is that I've had um, long-term subscribers that have been watching my channel, and for whatever reason, they were unsubscribed. So
You
it
know,
happens.
I I hear that a lot, and I don't know. I don't fucking
Yeah,
know. For me, it's because I don't actually subscribe to a lot of channels, but my
mhm,
YouTube algorithm is tilted towards those channels anyways. As a matter of fact, I don't think I'm subscribed to Adam Mockler. I don't think I'm subscribed to Kyle Kalinske. I don't think I'm subscribed to I've Had It, but my algorithm is always
yeah,
feeding me those videos because I watch them. So I do have to wonder, like, there is probably a lot of a valid statement saying I was subscribed to you. Why am I not? But
right,
there is also the possibility that you just thought you were subscribed because the algorithm keeps showing you, my videos or your videos, and you never hit the button. You just get the subscribe feature is goofy on YouTube because it doesn't do what it used to do, where you would see those subscribed channels. You just
yeah,
see what you watch instead now. It's a weird thing.
yeah,
That's why after I hit 100,000, I just went cool. Like I'm good. I don't particularly care about this number anymore in the way that it
mhm,
used to terrorize me and keep me up at night. So,
yeah. I think on my side, I've had people email me saying that they can't find my videos on their homepage, even though they watch all of my videos. I guess their algorithm's just not working, right? So in order for them to actually see my channel, they gotta either type in my channel name or they go
mhm.
to their subscriber areas just to try to find me, right? So it's
Yeah.
YouTube, I guess. Who knows? I mean, some people say they're
It,
suppressing us, but who knows?
it's wacky. It's
Yeah,
just it is what it is. Like
yeah,
you have your times where I'm sure you have them too, where your channel's just on fire. You're like, God damn, I cannot fucking go wrong. I cannot fuck up right now. Everybody loves what I'm doing. And then the next week, you're like, will somebody please come watch my fucking video? what,
yeah. I
what are
get
we
that
doing here?
sometimes. I get that sometimes. So
Yeah, you kind of hit those highs and lows. Let me
yeah.
see if we got something else we can kind of go off on there.
No,
My
this is
God,
fun.
thank you
It's
guys.
just a
So fun.
casual chat. I like doing this.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I appreciate everyone's support. A lot of times with my live streams, it's just solely talking to the audience. And you know what? A hard thing to do is actually hold an audience on a live stream when you're having a chat with someone else. A lot of people will check out. So we're doing well, everyone. We're doing well here tonight. So
yeah,
just a lot of support for both channels coming in through super chat, super thanks. And if you're a viewer of my channel and you don't know about Guard the Leaf, I could post a link, I guess. Let me post a link to your channel here
yeah,
for anybody that's not subscribed to Guard the Leaf. Canadian, I don't want to speak for you, but I think it's safe to say it's sick of Donald Trump's bullshit and kind of speaks out on the economic destruction brought on to America by Donald Trump, and a lot of having to do with boycotts from Canadians and shit like that. But you can speak for yourself on all that. I'm throwing your link in the chat here for anyone that don't have it.
Got yours in the chat as well. So
cool. Let me pin yours to the top here. We should have done that to start with, huh?
Yeah.
We should have started there. So anyways,
it shows how professional we are. We don't know what we're doing.
Yeah.
I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing right now. So you know what's funny?
Yeah.
Some of my channel members, they're like, "Are you gonna throw the F-bomb when you're talking to Josh?" And I was like, "Yeah, it might come out." So
I haven't found a way to push your buttons yet. Like if I knew something that would kind of trigger you, I would do it. Just like
talk about Senator Martin in Maine. That'll trigger my button.
Senator Martin. Well, I gotta push your buttons without pissing off my audience, though. You know, like, I gotta just piss you off enough so that you drop that. But I am not on Senator Martin's side. He can go fuck himself. Is my point of view. So yeah, if I knew what it was that would just like not to like make you angry, but just push your buttons enough.
Oh yeah. Someone just mentioned in the comment, Pete Hoekstra would also push my buttons. So
Pete Hoekstra, yeah, I've heard. I don't know much about him. I get a lot of comments from Canadians saying, "Hey, will you talk about this douchebag?" And I don't know a lot about him. What did Pete do this time?
I mean, he's the ambassador to the U.S. and he's for Canada, and he's just been like Trump's mouthpiece on our home soil, right? So. He's just how do I say it? He's I've never met anyone that gaslights more than him. And he's saying, he was disappointed that Canadians are anti-American, which I find is a load of shit, right? It's just I don't know anybody in Canada that would actually see as his work being an ambassador being productive. Anything that comes out, yeah.
I'm kind of just struggling to wrap my head around that statement. Canadians are anti-American. What does that even fucking mean? Yeah, like there's no requirement that you're patriotic for us. What's he talking about?
Yeah, and especially like with the F-35s, he's trying to say that F-35 fighter jets is the way to go, and he was pissed off that we took your alcohol off our shelves. It's just not anything constructive, right? It's very standoffish. And anytime he usually fucks up once a month, right? He'll say something stupid, and it gives me content to do videos on, right? But if you look at the bigger,
we did it. Pause. We did it. He just did it, my friends. Guard the Leaf just said he fucks up at least once a month. I didn't mean to cut you off.
I said the F-bomb a few times already, but if it's Pete Hoekstra, then I will definitely say the F-bomb, right? So but
I didn't mean to cut you off. I just want to make sure everyone knew we got it.
Yeah. So to the guy in my comments that said, if we're going to see a F-bomb from Guard the Leaf, you got it. But going back to Pete Hoekstra, I mean, he's just not doing anything constructive, right? But then at the same time as well, he's basically Trump's mouthpiece, so I don't expect anything constructive. So.
Right. Yeah. Well, I mean, you're doing good if he only fucks up once a month. I mean, I'm sorry you got to deal with him, but my God, we got these assholes fucking up every day over here, multiple times per day, to the point I can't even decide what video I want to do, because I'm like, what thing do I want to go after? As a matter of fact, when Donald Trump first came into office, there were a couple days I just canceled the video. I said, well, that's not going out because it was about tariffs, and the tariffs had changed. In the course of 3 hours, the tariffs had changed. I'm like, my video is already antiquated. It's already old news. Like, what?
Here's a question for you. I mean, with all these tariffs and changing on an hourly basis and whatever else, when you order things online and if it's coming from overseas, is there less of that happening now? Because obviously there's going to be a big tariff bill coming in, right?
I don't know. I don't know the answer to that, if I'm being honest with you. I very rarely order things online. So I did for all of, I don't know if you've noticed, I've kind of set myself up a little bit of a studio here. Look how professional I am. This shit's on an arm and everything, These are acoustic panels. Can you believe it? Like, this is the nicest trailer in the trailer park, I tell you what. But I did order all this because I was out on the road when I decided I wanted it. And because it was from the YouTube revenue, I just paid what it cost. I didn't even look at any of that. So I don't know how many
Yeah,
people are dealing with it. From a trucker point of view, I can give you a better answer, actually.
sure.
From a trucker point of view, we uh, and I'll be covering this so much the first quarter next year, maybe even starting not tomorrow. Tomorrow, guys, can I? Do you mind if I give a plug for what I'm doing tomorrow?
Go for it. Go for it.
We're both kind of in this together. But tomorrow, guys, 1 p.m. Mountain Time, Trisha Calvarese will be on here. She is a congressional candidate running in Colorado's fourth district against Lauren Boebert. She was on once we did a video together, but she will be on live tomorrow 1 p.m. Taking your guys' questions in the comments. So that's a big fucking deal. What's mountain time? I don't know. The one true review says what's mountain time? GMT something. I don't fucking know. But she'll be here. But back to your question, I just was reminded of that. The shipping industry through the holiday season was just scarce, is the only word I can think of.
Mhm.
Colorado time, PJ Canadian. And that indicates that people are buying a lot less, which indicates that the tariffs are kicking the shit out of the American citizens. By the way, did everybody get their two government mandated dolls? Your government mandated $2 for Christmas, or how'd you make out on the doll situation? How about you,
Yeah,
Garden? Did you get your $2, or are you immune from that? Are you
I think I'm
exempt from
immune
that?
from that. I don't have to deal with the U.S. bullshit, so
Yeah.
we
Okay.
just have to, we
Yeah.
just have to hear it.
Yeah, we're limited to $2, government mandate.
Yeah,
$2. And what was it, one pencil or was it five pencils? You
I
know,
can't remember.
$2, one pencil. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, just but yeah, I mean, there's evidence of the tariffs obviously being a
Mhm.
big fucking problem. I don't even know what the tariffs are. I couldn't even begin to tell you what the tariffs are right now.
Yeah.
Because they just changed so much. And
Well, yeah,
it
nobody
could
knows.
yeah, it could have changed in 5 minutes. Maybe Donald Trump's mad about something again.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, because I have seen a few reports where your fellow citizens ordering stuff from Amazon. They thought it was coming from the U.S., but it comes from China, and then they get like a huge UPS bill, right? So I'm just wondering if online shopping in the U.S. has decreased since this year or not. So
I think it would be safe to say, yeah, sorry, give me a second. But it's okay. You're all right. The dog does he's very protective of the house. And we
yeah,
got a guest over that's heading up the door. So if you give me 1 second, the dog's a sweetheart, but he is super, super protective of the house. So we just about got him calmed down. It's okay. Not a big deal. Not a big deal. He'll calm down any second, but he's he's a what is he? A Doberman something mix. I can't remember, like Australian cattle dog Doberman mix or something like that. He's
yeah,
adorable as fuck. But super, super protective of the house, so he gets himself fired up. He'll calm down any minute though. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. Yes, absolutely. A lot of people. Garden Leaf, have you noticed this on your channel? When people watch from mobile, it does not say my channel name under my videos anymore. Instead, it's my handle.
yeah. It says eating the cats.
Yeah. So a lot of people are getting in on that joke now. You couldn't really. It wasn't front and center before, like it is
Yeah,
now.
yeah,
Um, and I was when I was setting up my channel, I got lucky in a sense. I didn't realize I was getting lucky at the time. Um, Doberman Blue Heeler, thank you. I think that's what I was looking for. The cussing Kentuckian. Yeah, gorgeous dog, gorgeous dog. But anyways, I was just trying to make my handle the enemy from within also, and that was already taken. And
yeah.
I'm like, fuck, I need something in there. So I was trying to think of like some bullshit that Donald Trump said. And at first I put in eating the dogs, and that was taken. I'll be damned. That was taken. And then I was like, well, I'll just type in eating the cats, and it accepted it. And I said, well, goddamn, when people see that, at least they'll get a laugh out of it. So
Yeah,
and they do, it's hilarious.
yeah,
So yeah, is yours just guard the leaf under yours? I don't
yeah.
imagine.
I was able to secure the guard the leaf. So
Yeah, the enemy from within was, I think, like a TV show or something, or secured by a TV show. I don't
yeah,
really fucking know. I'm not really sure.
yeah.
Um,
I had a hard time trying to figure out what my channel name would be. Right. I mean, I was trying to think of a few other things, and Originally, I was like Leaf Guard, but then I realized Leaf Guard is like an actual product. It's like, the gutters, right? Then I was like, I
Mhm,
can't do that.
mhm.
So Guard the Leaf kind of made sense, right? So
I like it. I think it's a really cool name. I
yeah,
like it a lot.
so
Um,
yeah,
yeah, it's a good one.
yeah.
It's a good one. What else we want to talk about here? Like we're so behind on comments. I'm trying to find one that maybe stands out. If you guys want to if you go, there's so many comments. If you guys want to
Yeah.
say something, I'm sorry, that's not what I meant to say. But
Yeah, if anyone has any questions for us, by all
yeah,
means. I mean, I apologize. I mean, the chat is just going crazy, and I can't really keep up with it. So
yeah, it is a lot to keep up with. I hope y'all will
it's
forgive us. We
yeah.
are um
What time is it in KL? It is 11:09 Saturday morning. So, and
Saturday
I
morning.
want to take this time to thank my viewers for um my move. It was a big thing for me, and I wasn't really too sure what the reception would be for it, but I really do appreciate everyone that still continues to support me. So
Yeah, man, I don't think it's a big deal. Like you made that move, but you still
yeah.
are supporting and defending Canada. And
I
hey,
mean,
maybe
no, I was saying I haven't felt more patriotic now than I have in years, and I'm not even in the country, right? So I mean, for me, that every day that I'm out here, I'm thinking about back home. So
yeah, absolutely.
yeah,
I personally, I don't know if have the right to speak on that, but I don't feel like it changes anything. You're still standing up for your country. A lot of people watch you and agree with your message, and
yeah,
it's important to speak up on these things. It's much easier, guard the leaf, to be a coward, to fall in
yeah.
line, to do
Mhm.
what you're told.
I
So
appreciate it.
uh, yeah, it's important, to stand up
And
for that. So
well, and an interesting thing that kind of came out of me announcing that I'm moving overseas is that I actually got a lot of comments and emails from Canadians living overseas. So Canadians living in Europe, Australia, Asia, they kind of reached out to me and say, "Hey, I'm glad you mentioned it because I'm living in wherever I am now, but
mhm,
what's going on back home in our home country is something that we're all keeping an eye on and standing up
mhm,
for, right?" And I had one guy, he was actually living in South Africa, Canadian, and he reached out, and ever since the whole Trump bullshit and thing what started this year, what he's been doing in his area in South Africa is really kind of educating those around him about the differences between Canada and the U.S. Right? Because the, not many people around the globe really know the difference between Canada and U.S. They think we're because we're in North America, it's kind of like similar, right? And I've had
mhm,
to do that in my previous stint away as well. I've had to explain that Canada is a different country and we have our
mhm.
own government and whatever else, right? So this person in South Africa actually emailed me and said, he's making it a purpose to educate more, those around him about what's going on. Why there's a big difference between Canada and the U.S. So it's it's I'm hearing a lot more of from those that are living overseas that are Canadian, and um, actually, I'll do a plug as well. But I have an interview coming up in the new year with a Canadian that's living overseas, and he's going to be sharing his stories and what he is seeing, and also what his region, where he lives, what they think about the U.S. and what's going on right now. So I'll have that interview coming up in the new year.
Nice, man. Isn't
Yeah.
that crazy?
So
That it's just it's really cool that we're able to do that. I was kind of emailing back and forth to set up this thing with Trisha, and I'm just blown
mhm.
away that a trucker from the middle of nowhere, from the fucking trailer park, is able to sit down and have these conversations with these people. It's really a cool thing.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man. Yeah,
So
that's good, man. No, I mean, I think a lot of people, a lot of Canadians, especially, are reasonable. Y'all got your unreasonable people too, that, but
yeah,
yeah, you
every
leave it.
country does.
Yeah, exactly. We all got them right.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, ours is on the world stage at this point.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I think y'all are reasonable people, and making that move.
Mhm.
I don't consider it a big deal. I get told all the time I should move to Canada, but I don't think I will. I
Yeah.
don't think I will, just because I'd like to be here to be sort of, I guess, like, I don't want to sound arrogant, but like that kind of resistance, to what's going
Yeah.
on, and hope like hell that I reach people, like me from my background, and
Yeah.
we can start
Well,
making a
we're
difference.
yeah, we're just making a difference in whatever way we can. I
Yeah.
just saw a comment from one of your viewers. He says, "Talk about the AI channels that are swamping YouTube." Um, have you noticed those? Like a lot of fake George Conway channels or videos and stuff like that. So this is
Um,
actually, I mean, it's a good point to bring up. And what's his name? Kiwi 7991. Thank you for
mhm,
bringing that up. I actually just wanted to say this because there is a lot of fake videos going out there, especially with how AI is so lifelike these days.
mhm.
There was a George Conway video going out around on multiple fake channels that basically posed as him speaking a message about Canada, and it wasn't actually him, right? So
Mhm.
I know there are other political public figures that are now being faked as well. So I think everyone just has to be really careful when it comes to these videos coming out now. So
Yeah, I don't know much about that. I believe I saw you post that over on Blue Sky about,
yeah,
or maybe it was over here on YouTube. I'm not really
no, it
sure.
was on Blue Sky because I literally got like a couple dozen people sending me this video to watch, and it was a fake video, right? So
It's very dangerous. It's
yeah,
extremely dangerous that AI can be that convincing to a
yeah,
lot of people. And on the flip side of that, people will claim things are AI now just to avoid accountability. Um, I had what was that fucking dork's name on Fox News that called for the execution of homeless people? Do you remember that? Do you know who I'm talking about?
Jesse Waters,
No, no, but fuck him too.
yeah,
It was some other dork
Brian
that
something,
Brian Kilmeade, thank you.
yeah,
And I made a video about that because that obviously pissed me off. And the first initial comments to that video was, dude, this was AI. You fell for it. And it
yeah,
wasn't. It was 100% real. And so people are hiding behind AI also to say they're shitty
yep,
things. It's
yep,
dangerous on so many fucking levels. So many
yeah,
levels. And I haven't seen it myself on that level, but I get frustrated because when I'm done with the news for the day, like I kind of watch random shit, like listen to random
yeah,
shit on YouTube. Like I listened to a video about the construction of the Eisenhower Tunnel in Colorado because I was curious, and
mhm,
I think I was like 30 minutes into it before like I heard that certain thing you hear in an AI voice. I'm like, fuck, this is an AI video. God
mhm,
damn it. I want to support a real creator is what I want to do, somebody that took the time to make this.
yeah.
But I
Well,
understand what you're saying is much more dangerous than what I'm bitching about right now. Mine
I
seems
mean,
very petty by comparison.
they both are. I mean, to be honest, I mean, it's just putting out a false narrative, right? Whether
Mm,
it's trying to pretend to be a public figure,
mm.
or in your scenario where you said that the Fox News host tried to blame it on AI, right? So I mean, it works both ways, right? So
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah,
yeah,
I mean, they're gonna do that. That was actually one of was the narrative, the talking point of the MAGA movement, the people on the right, for
yeah.
at least a day, was that Brian Kilmeade didn't say that, and it was a AI. And then it's
Mhm.
like, you can't deny this anymore. This fucking happened.
You mentioned earlier like that Mega is dying. I mean, I've been seeing a lot of posts on Blue Sky and even on, I occasionally just hop onto X.
Ooh,
It
brave man.
Yeah, I brave it out sometimes and take a look, right? But I have been seeing a lot more MAGA people saying, you know what, I didn't vote for this and I'm done with it, right? So is
Mhm.
MAGA starting to die or is it gonna
Yeah.
continue on,
Mhm.
you think?
Yeah, short answer is yeah. It's going to continue on. It's both. It's both of those
Yeah.
things. It is dying out. The demographics that I think people are noticing is young men in
Mhm.
America, and I don't know how to feel about that because fuck everyone that put us in this position, of course.
Yeah.
But I was a young man once too, and I was desperate to fit in. I'm happy to be an older man now, where I could give a fuck less if I fit in.
Yeah.
I hope that like my viewers like me, but I don't take it personally. Like if I get out of line on a video and get corrected, I don't worry that much about fitting in these days. But young men, I don't know how you were, but have a tendency to just want to fit in. And then you've got the Joe Rogans out there, the Andrew Tates, the fucking what's his name, Charlie Kirk's, past tense, I guess. I'm not trying to get too crazy on this live stream. And all these young men are so easily influenced by all of that shit. They feel like they're a part of something. And I think you're seeing a lot of, and somebody said you're a young man still. I'm young by comparison to some people, but I'm well into my 40s now. But these young, like 20 something year old men they're seeing that they got duped, is what I'm trying to tell you. They're seeing that they got lied to, and their actual livelihood is on the line. They can't afford a house. They can't afford food at this point. So you're seeing that demographic shift, which is good news. For me, especially being a father to daughters, I don't want them to be around fucking douchebags. I can't. I don't want to have to fight a guy 20 years younger than me.
Right.
That wouldn't go good. But that's a good shift. The Hispanic community is tilting away from MAGA.
Yeah.
They're weakening. The MAGA's
Okay.
weakening, but not dying. I don't think it'll ever die. I don't think it ever will. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it definitely sounds like it's weakening. I mean, just from what I'm seeing online and stuff like that. But you're
Yeah.
right. I don't think it'll ever die. So
Yeah, weakening is good enough, by the way.
Yeah.
You're never going to get rid of ignorance. You're probably never going to get rid of Fox News. Weakening is good enough. If they can just sit on the sidelines and bitch like they do and not have any control of our government, that's good enough. We'll take that. I think most of us would take that. Sure, you can yell about the transgender people or whatever you're afraid of today. Just do it out of the fucking way so the adults can work. That's kind of where I'm at. How about Maple MAGA? Let's talk about that. Do you see that as a growing force, or I almost answered that for you, but I'm going to let you do it.
No, I mean, I agree with. I mean, I hope it doesn't, and I think there's a lot more Canadians that are aware because we see what's going on south of the border, right? And for me personally, I hope it doesn't escalate, but at the same time as well, we have to continue pushing back, right?
You have to.
And and I think the problem that I see is the Maple MAGA is just taking tips and tricks from the South, right? So, and not only that, but there must be influences coming from south of the border north, and I don't think that's helping either as well. So, for me personally, I hope it doesn't escalate. So,
yeah, I hope that it does not either, because like I said here, it started out as a fairly quiet movement. There were a lot of people that did not even want to acknowledge or admit that they like Donald Trump, and it takes like the biggest dumbest motherfucker in the group to say he likes Donald Trump and then bully the rest into submission is basically how it happens. And my response to that, because like I said, I almost answered for you, because I'm just so used to doing these by myself, I guess. But I think the election of Mark Carney was a huge stand against that, because what I understand is Pierre or whatever
Pierre Poilievre
was basically he was going to win.
Yeah, I mean, I think from this is I'm not an expert in this, right? But I mean, I think the conservatives were slated to win, but when Trump released to kind of put his gas pedal on the 51st state, and Pierre Poilievre really kind of favored it, in my opinion, I think that's what tilted everyone to kind of realize, what, we don't want what's going on in the states. So I didn't, before the if you asked me in 2024 who would win the next election, I would have said the conservatives. But obviously, with shit hitting the fan at the beginning of this year, and everyone's saying, "Holy fuck!" What's going on with the U.S. Here, I said the F-bomb again. But
you did it.
Yeah, but I think everyone just kind of realized, oh shit, we don't want this, right? So Mark Carney has been, in my opinion, stabilizing things for Canada, and also what I really like is that he's starting to talk to other nations as well, right? And he's really kind of, in my opinion, releasing the strings that we have tied to the unit. So and I think that has to happen anyways, right? I mean, I think we've been too
Mhm.
comfortable with the United States when it comes to our governments, our travel, our purchasing U.S. product, all that kind of stuff has just been so intertwined. And I feel that moving forward, even if the relationship gets better with the U.S. government, we still need to be a lot more independent. So that's just my take on it. So
I think so. I mean, I'm not an expert on this either,
yeah,
but I think it is a good opportunity for Canada, in my view.
yeah, it's a wake
It's
up
just
call, I think.
the wake up call is a good way to put it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree with that. And I just wanted to point out, PJ Canadian, if you saw me kind of giggling to myself over here, called him Peter Peckerhead, and I haven't heard the term Peckerhead in like 30 fucking years, and kind of made me giggle a little bit. But no, I think it's a great opportunity to.
Yeah.
I feel like I always say it wrong. I get corrected a lot, but like to sort of increase that global influence. And I don't know if that's
Yeah.
even what you guys want, but I think you are regardless. I think
I
either way.
think, I mean, if this is just my opinion, but what I want for Canada is to, continue being a sovereign nation, but at the same
Mhm.
time as well, we also have to realize that 2025 is a good wake up call for us, and we've been depending and intertwined with the United States for way too long.
Yeah.
And I always say on my channel that yes, if a Democratic president comes in, he apologizes, nonstop, that isn't going to change, my opinion, the people that continue to, call us the
Mhm.
51st state and whatever else. So with that said, for me, it's more about, um, yes, the relationship might stabilize, but I would prefer to see trade talks and trade partners go elsewhere just
Yeah.
to, because I don't want to be in this situation again in another 8 years or,
And yeah.
every 4 years or 8 year cycle. Right. So,
Mhm. Yeah, and that's a very real thing that could happen. Like, yes, we will. I would say at this point we have a high likelihood of electing a Democrat the next election
yeah.
cycle. But what stands in the way of you know a Republican coming in, because it will swing that way again eventually, and just doing the exact same thing, because we've watched these tariffs are illegal, by the way.
Yeah.
The 51st state, it obviously is just mind blowing that anyone
Yeah.
would say that. Um, and obviously that's something to think about. But the tariffs are illegal. Like, the
Mhm.
president does not have the authority to do it. What does that mean? He's doing it anyways. What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that drives me nuts with. I think the media here in America has kind of laid off of it a bit. But it used to be like, well, isn't what Donald Trump's doing illegal? Does that fucking matter? Like, what are
Yeah.
you talking about? It doesn't
Yeah.
matter. But unless there was something put in place like ironclad that this could never happen again,
Mhm.
I wouldn't trust us. I wouldn't trust us at all.
Yeah. It's unfortunate. Right. And,
Yeah.
you know, I think when it comes to trade and political stuff that I really don't know, I mean, I'm sure that'll stabilize with a democratic government but on a citizen level and a people level,
Mhm.
I would love to visit your country again. And, I got married in Hawaii. It's a special place to me, but it's just somewhere that I feel right now that I wouldn't be comfortable going to even after, the dust settles. Right. And I mean, I don't want to call myself jaded or like holding a grudge, right? But it's really one of those things where I think, okay, if I'm going to a restaurant and not necessarily in Hawaii, like anywhere in the US, if I'm going to a restaurant and this restaurant owner voted to enable Donald Trump to cause, shit around the world, do I really want to support this guy? And
Right.
do I want to support his business, right? And it's tough because you're not gonna know who voted for who unless they put like a sign on the door saying I voted Democrat, right? But it's unrealistic that way. But for me, it's just more like, okay, I don't want my money can go elsewhere, right? I mean, I can
Right.
travel to my next destination that I want to explore is actually Europe. I have not explored Europe at all except for work, and I've been to
Mhm.
London for work, and that's about it. But I haven't really traveled Europe, and just from my channel, I have a lot of European viewers, and they've been telling me, come visit Europe, and I think that's where my next travel destination is going to focus on. So
Yeah, absolutely. Go
yeah,
see other things.
yeah,
I agree with that. God, there was something you said. About the people of the United
Yeah.
States when it comes to dealing with us from here on.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, everybody here watching, and you understand this is not the majority of the American people, but
Mhm.
unfortunately. There are people in America that were perfectly fine with Canada, were perfectly fine with Canadians until
Yep.
they were told to have a different opinion. And
Correct.
that yeah, that's
Yeah.
unfortunately going to last for generations to come, and nobody even fucking knows
And that's
why.
what I'm so like dumbfounded on is how are they so easily convinced? Like, I mean, before, I'm sure the ones that had no problems with Canada, and then all of a sudden, when Trump says we need to be a 51st state, they just switch on a dime and say, "Oh yeah, we need to take over Canada." It's just ridiculous to me. So,
That's a requirement to be a Trump supporter.
yeah.
I mean, your opinion has to constantly change. You have to do what you're told. It's one of the most infuriating things in the world because me being on the left, I've been called every fucking name in the book. I've been called all
Mhm.
kinds of shit. And now the Republicans are defending pedophiles. They're protecting pedophiles right now. And
Yeah.
I've been called that just for being a Democrat. And I'm like, I was just over here driving my truck. What are you talking about? And now all of a sudden they're pro pedophile. What are we talking about? You know, and that's obviously a dark fucking topic, but that's the way all of this works. They
Yeah.
have to change their opinion when Donald Trump says, like, it doesn't matter. I mean, think of any wild, wacky topic you can think of. If Donald Trump comes out right now, tweets out that he loves the transgender community,
Yeah.
that
They'll listen to him.
which he never will. That's
Yeah.
the completely insane scenario, would never happen. But then all of a sudden, they'd be all over it. They'd say, "Hell yeah, of course, we always liked them.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?"
Yeah.
It's super super frustrating because you can't argue with MAGA. You can't argue with them because the opinion changes every 5 minutes.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. So now Canadians will be the enemy in a lot of Americans' eyes for generations at this point.
Yeah.
Generations.
Even long after Trump is gone, we're still going to be the enemy. We're still going to be the ones that we took too much from the US and blah 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 and all that bullshit. And that's
Yeah.
the part that really bothers me. And it's not just going to be after 4 years or 3 years or whatever it is now. It's going to continue on. So,
Right. Yeah. And
yeah.
I try to think about that, and maybe you have a good example. I don't fucking know. But when they talk about, Canada's taken advantage of us, like, I seriously never knew much about Canada before I started doing this. I
Mhm.
mean, I remember the closest thing I know to it was when I was a teenager. The Colorado Avalanche moved from, I think they were like the Quebec Nordiques or something like that
Yep.
years ago. And I knew about that. And their first year here, I believe they won a Stanley Cup. That's it. That's the extent of my Canadian knowledge. That was the whole thing. But what I did understand is, I guess I'm selling myself a little bit short. I understand the automobile manufacturing is cross
Mhm.
border.
Yeah.
We do have the sports leagues, a lot of entertainment. As far as movies, video games, shit like that is all done. Like, we've just been good friends.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I cannot think of an example and an honest response of where I go, man, Canada really took advantage of us on that situation.
Yeah, and I think that's what pisses off a lot of Canadians because I mean it's not like that. And when Trump says, "Oh, Canada's been taking advantage of us," we're just like, "What the fuck?" What did we do to you know get all of this heat from you, right? So
Yeah, I see
yeah,
Forsberg and Waugh, but I notice Miss Siren. I notice a shocking lack of Joe Sakic in your statement. I just wanted
yeah,
to
Burnaby
point that
Joe.
out. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
we have a street named after him in my area in Burnaby in Vancouver.
Oh,
So
really? Awesome.
yeah,
Wow.
he's not. Yeah, we respect Joe Sakic, not like Wayne Gretzky. So
Yeah,
Wayne
I heard he's
Gretzky,
a
he was one of my idols growing up. I mean,
yeah.
he everyone. I mean, obviously we're Canadian. We play hockey, but Wayne Gretzky was someone that everyone looked up to, and I even
Mm,
had his Easton silver hockey stick. That he made famous, right? And
mm.
just seeing him with Trump and taking photos of them and golfing with them, it's just it's disappointing. That's all I have to say. So
Yeah, I've heard that he has disappointed a lot of Canadians. I don't
yeah.
know much about it, but I guess you said there was a picture of him with Trump.
Yeah, he's got pictures with Trump at Mar-a-Lago. He's got pictures of him golfing with him, and
Crazy.
it's it was just a lot of Canadians were just disappointed. I guess that's the best word I can say. So
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
that's a good way to put it. Yeah,
yeah,
unfortunately, but yeah, I guess just back to that topic. Even when I challenge MAGA and say like, well, in what way did Canada take advantage of us? There's never an acceptable answer to that. There's just
hmm
not. I've never. I I don't know.
yeah,
I don't have a fucking answer to that. I don't know
yeah,
what to say. Yeah.
yeah. All right, I
Uh,
need to get going pretty soon.
okay.
But this has been great, and as I think for my first live stream, this is actually pretty fun.
Yeah, it went well, man. Yeah, it went very well. I want to apologize to everyone that we did not get to go through near as many
Yeah,
comments as we had hoped to. Even busier than I expected
yeah,
tonight.
and
So,
apologize for not even being able to get through all the super chats and things like that. But this is for me. I think with my channel, I'm very kind of structured in my videos that I do, and even the interviews. This is just nice to kind of let go and drop the f bomb a couple times and things like that. So
yeah, you have to be very kind to yourself when you do a live stream. If you fuck up, you just kind of roll through it and hope for
yeah,
the best. So that's the way
yeah,
this all works. So,
yeah.
hope everyone still likes you in the morning.
Yeah, we'll see. I'll go through the chats. I think it's gonna be available after later, so I'll go through the chats later to see what everybody says. So
Yep, absolutely. Well, yeah. If you're out, then I'm out too because I'm very rarely home, and I want to enjoy that a little bit. So
yeah,
yeah,
I didn't actually realize we've already gone an hour and a half. So
yeah.
did
I
not
set
seem like an
aside
hour and
two
a half.
hours
So
for it, so we're good. Yeah, we're good.
okay.
So, yeah,
Yeah, no, I gotta
yeah.
get the house cleaned up and start going out for some groceries and things like that now. So I gotta start my day. So
Awesome, man. Sounds good. Well,
yeah.
I'm kind of terrible at long goodbyes, so I'll let you say what you need to say to your viewers, and
Yeah,
then
no,
I'll say
what I
my
want to
thing.
say is I wish everyone had a great Christmas, and I think 2025 has been very I don't want to say traumatic for us, but it's been an eye opener for us. So I think for my viewers and the Canadians, we just got to keep on our foot on the gas pedal and not give in and just continue pushing. And when I say pushing, if it's like Pete Hoekstra running his mouth again or something else happens, then I'll be there to call it out. So
Yep.
and last but not least, I really appreciate your support, Josh, and you and Bill Kelly, the Bill Kelly podcast, were one of the first few channels that actually acknowledged that I existed. So thank you as well, Josh. And I'm very excited to do this again in the future. So when are you back at home from your next trip out?
I come home about once a month. Once a
Yeah.
month, I get back. Yeah. Yep.
All right. Let's
Yep.
let's try to do this again in January when you're back home and out of the truck.
Yep, absolutely. Cool. So yeah, to everybody that stopped by on my channel and of course Garden Leafs channel, appreciate every one of you. Appreciate you hanging out. This was went better than expected. I was nervous going into this. So
Yeah, me
glad y'all
too. I
joined
had
us.
no idea what I was doing, so I still don't.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, on my side, of course, I stand with the people of Canada because right is right and wrong is wrong. And it's that fucking easy. And of course, to my American brothers and sisters out there, we just got to keep pushing the same thing he said. That's what we got to do. So,
Yeah,
all
for
right,
sure.
we done?
Yep, we're good.
All
We'll chat
right,
again,
cool.
and happy New Year to everybody.
All right, cool. Love you guys. Bye now.
All right, take care, everyone.